I'll get back in 3 minutes.
Are you serious? Do you really need to come back in 3 minutes? I guess he does. I guess he's going to come back in 3 minutes.
I guess so. Maybe he got some feedback on his initial comments. He's got an answer for them.
Okay, yeah, because I'm really curious. Dating. I mean, I'm unpartnered.
It's about $20, like if you're to convert it.
Oh my
Go to
gosh,
a really good place. And
I would love to date in China. I'm dating in the wrong country. Oh my goodness, this is incredibly helpful. I did not mean to shut Tiger down. I was just really curious, but we'll come back to
about a third of the cost of the puppy's brunch.
Thank you, Victoria. All right, let's go to Steve, followed by Linda. Steve, my main man from West Virginia, Country Road, take me home. Speak some truth into this question, Steve. Why do 2/3 of the people want to leave the country? What do you think of this, Steve? And how are you doing emotionally?
Well, I'm a total emotional psychological wreck. Yes, that's normal. No, but yeah, I think Tiger hit on some good points. I think there's been some good points already raised. I think the stratification of income in the economy. I think there's another component that hasn't been hit on here when we talk about the angst and the anxiety within society. I think there's a social media component to this that, if my life isn't what I see people posting on a social media site and they're doing all these wonderful things, then obviously I have nothing to live for, and I'm not where I need to be. But I think there's a little bit of delusional thinking too about leaving the country, because they may perceive that they could go somewhere and hit a better quality of life. And I think globally, with the global pressure and competition, look at England. Are you going to go there and get a better life? France, Spain. But I think there's economic components. I think there's political divisions that's creating anxiety too, because there's such a division. But I really think is that we're seeing the fruition of economic policy that benefited us a lot, that started in the late 70s, early 80s, where we started offshoring. And now the things, I was telling my son the other day that when I first got out of school, I knew people in different heavy manufacturing cities. You could just take off and within a couple of days you could find a job, a decent job, one that you could decent money at. Maybe you wouldn't want to stay there your entire life, but the opportunity and options was there. And I think the younger people are seeing opportunities. And I think they can realize that, my avenues are limited now. And then, we're kind of talking about housing and different things. So there's a lot of pressure on all fronts. And but I don't think there's a simple solution like moving out of the country. That could be one that proverbial I'll go from the ground and get the fire type thing. So I don't know. I think it's all the above, and some of the speakers have hit on some really good things. And I think people looking at social media is seeing someone else and my life's great, and then you take an inventory of your life and you say, well, it's not stacking up, so obviously there's something wrong with me, and then you get anxiety, depression, and stuff like that. And then, another component of this, and I see it all the time, the younger people are having a very, very bad addiction issue with hardcore drugs. And I think it's a component of what we've been talking about. I think this anxiety, this depression, this hopelessness is leading our youth, a good portion of them, to basically become walking zombies. And it's very distressing. And as far as having an answer, no, I don't have an answer for this. I can see the problem, but the solution, I'm not sure. I'll leave it there, Scott.
Steve, always great to hear from you. I just want to ask you before I go back to Tiger and Anthony. Steve, what does it cost if a guy wants to relocate? I'm in Philadelphia, just mildly much, Steve? What are we talking dollars?
Well, you know, if I was a young person, I was looking at taking a lady out and showing her a decent time, I would think at minimum $200. That's just me.
$200 in West Virginia?
Well, I mean, if you go to a decent restaurant, you know, you don't want to take them to a fast food drive-through. Well, I'm just saying, you know, if you go out and do some other things, have dinner, go out and maybe go to a club or maybe go see a movie or something. I may be a little high, Scott, but $100, $200, that range, I would think.
Ladies, God forbid anything happens to Steve Smith. This guy is a great dude. This is a classy guy, Steve. Thank you. You are a class act. It was great to see you, my friend. Tiger, can you give Fred and Linda? Can you give me the figure? People estimate $20 to take someone out on a date in China. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate actually, because Victoria actually lived in China, I know, so she actually even speaks the language. And so if you want to meet China, please follow her, way of doing it, because I'll only be happy there if you fully integrate her. Let's try to integrate her. But yeah, I took 8 people out for banquets of over 10 dishes in China. And it's a very decent place, and it only cost me just over $100 in US dollars terms.
Tiger, I need your real estate agent. I'll be leaving the country next week. Thank you so much, my friend. Always nice to see you. Let's go to Linda.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. I think Steve's actually right on the line. It would be $200 for a decent date. I think that's about right. I guess I would say this. I think money figures again people leave the country. I actually agree with Steve. I think seeing what other people are doing on social media, I think that creates what he's talking about, where I think they think other people are having this great, wonderful life. I noticed that I'm 39, and I just kind of observed that people, like in their early 20s, like kind of they don't have enough money to like live on their own. When I got my first apartment, I live in Ohio though, so I'm gonna say it's still Ohio prices, but my first apartment was $555 a month. And so when I got paid, and my student loan payments were affordable at that time, so I paid my car payment, I paid my student loans, I paid my rent, paid my utilities, and I still had money left to put in my savings, and I still had money left to go out with friends, and we would go out to the bar, we do happy hours, eat out, like little activities and stuff, and I still had money to put away to go travel. And I noticed a lot of the younger people now, costs are so high, and I don't see their wages really going up, and they seem to just not have as much money to me, because rent's so high. The other thing I've noticed is they're more like isolated, I think. They seem to be like on their phones more, and I just noticed a lot of my young neighbors, like 24, 25, 26, they don't go out much. They stay a lot to themselves in their apartment unit, whereas opposed to, like I said, years ago, 15 years ago, whatever, I would go out with my friends. So I did notice they seem to be kind of socially isolated. So I think maybe just disappointment with the state of the country, where things are at as far as inflation costs, medical care is like through the roof, it's really expensive. And I'm not saying other countries are better. My dad's lived in Saudi Arabia. He's from what was now Somaliland. I'm not a nation of Somalia, but family that lives in the UK, so they tell me about how their healthcare system is. My husband's from Nicaragua. It's a beautiful country. I've been there. I did like the pace of life. It's a little slower. I did like the work was a little bit shorter. I did like the warm weather. The things I loved about it, I loved the culture that they're always with their family. just because you pack up and leave doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be all rainbows and sunshine, because now you're in a new country. You might need to learn the language. You're going to need to learn the culture. You're going to need to assimilate and learn the laws and the rules and the processes in that land, and that can be really difficult. So I'm not saying I hate the United States. I love my country, but I have considered it myself. Wanting a different perspective, wanting to see how other people live. I've just always been curious what it's been like to live in another country, and that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Linda, that was great. And I just want to ask you a question, which you can feel free to not answer. Now that you're married and your husband takes you on a date, what do you think that date costs in Ohio?
I don't ask.
What a wise woman. What a wise woman.
He took me out. He did take me out for my birthday. We went to the Texas Roadhouse, and I ordered whatever I wanted, and then we went bowling, and I love to bowl, so I'm not a good bowler, but I enjoyed it. So I don't ask, and I don't even know, like, the guy's got to get his hair cut. I know the haircut is a big thing. They got to get haircut costs have gone up. They got to have gas in their car. They got to get the car clean. So I know it's a whole thing, but no, I don't ask.
Thank you so much, Linda. And let's go now to my dear friend, candidate for Congress, John Kitover, who goes on lots of dates, who's running for Congress, who is a fiscally disciplined Republican. John, you're running for Congress, trying to set this country on hopefully a more hopeful path. Why do 2/3 of young people want to leave the country, John, and what do you make of it as a candidate for Congress?
Hey, Scott, Marshall, Howard, Alan, everybody else, good evening. Thank you for being here. I hope you're all having fun. Sorry to hear that Gary isn't feeling well. It's my birthday today. I'm 43 years old. And you know what? I like Scott's Trump impersonation. I think Scott has incredible political analysis, and his vocabulary, his words, his descriptions, his knowledge is, he's a subject matter expert. And so, you know, I think that the same problem has been happening for the past 100 years, or 200 years. Generations and wealth transfer and industry and economics and growth and war and debt and borrowing and spending. All these things are interconnected, and it's global. It's not just national. We do live in a global community. And I just think that education at this point is still our greatest asset and opportunity to turn things around for the youth, who I think really are very much addicted to cell phones, to content, possibly to cannabis, possibly to other substances. And, you know, I went to a party on Halloween, and the DJ and other people, I will say, were using illicit substances, the kinds of substances you might find on boats now on fire in the Caribbean, because our Air Force is so proficient at attacking drug smugglers coming from Venezuela. But returning to education, I was hoping I could share what the Buddha wrote in his Dhammapada on happiness, because that's what we're really talking about, is how do we increase the happiness for the common man and common woman here in America, so when you graduate college, you don't have $100,000 in student loan debt, you don't get taken by predatory credit card and high interest loan companies. So I would just like to read the wise words of the Buddha. This is about 20 little sentences here. Cut me off whenever you want, Reverend Scott, but this is written by the Buddha, who is
30 seconds, buddy, 30 seconds with the Buddha.
Truly, we dwell in happiness. Others hate, but we do not. Surrounded by those who hate, we live free from hatred. Truly, we dwell in happiness. Others are sick, but we are not. Surrounded by sick people, we live free from sickness. Truly, we dwell in happiness. Free from struggles while others struggle. Surrounded by struggling people, we live free from conflict. Truly, we Americans dwell in happiness, having no obstacles at all. We shall feed on joy like radiant Americans. Victory produces hostility, for the defeated ones live in grief. Releasing both victory and defeat, the tranquil minds dwell in happiness. There is no fire like lust, no evil like hatred. There are no disasters equal to the khandhas. There is no happiness greater than the peace of nirvana. Hunger is the most severe bodily disease. Conditioned things are the worst calamity. When we see this clearly, we achieve nirvana, the ultimate bliss. Health is the highest price.
Thank you, John. It is your birthday, so we recognize this up in the club. Thank you. Because it's your birthday. And we are going to go next to, wait, I just lost my place. I'm so sorry. Miles, can you help me out because John was moved down?
Yeah, you got David and David.
Dave, I'm so sorry, everybody. I am on club deck, so the interface is a little challenging. There we go. David G, my main man from California. It's great to see you, my friend. Congratulations. I'm sure you are still glowing from the showing of your wonderful Dodgers. David, why, with such a great baseball team and so many other things, do people want to leave the country? And what do you make of all this? Are you making travel plans?
A great room. I actually saw this article and I was entertaining it from a standpoint of what this would portend to the country if, in fact, this reality were to occur. Part of the whole American experiment, that's how we should frame it, is that you have to have the buy-in of the younger generations. When I came of age, when my dad came of age, I was in the room. There was no negotiating how you needed to get to what you needed to do to be successful in this country, or at least try to be. America gives you the opportunity. Unless you're born wealthy, trust fund, or you can sing and be a Michael Jackson or an NFL athlete. You gotta use your wits, you gotta use your knowledge, your education, your family upbringing, where you live, and you gotta make a go of it. And part of, nobody said it was gonna be easy, but if you sat on your ass, you're not gonna get anywhere. Well, but we have in America where when you made that effort, you're deriving some modicum of success and some benefit. You're talking about what it costs to date a woman properly or man, or any other persuasion you might have in terms of wanting a long-term relationship. And you had confidence that if you were able to attract that significant other, you could put down roots and have a family or make a go of it and see some sort of benefit out of your struggle. I don't think the youth today, see the juice being worth the squeeze. I've traveled a fair amount and I've seen these keyboard, what do you call it? Influencers slash digital nomads. That's the word I was looking for. And, I don't know how well they're doing or not doing, but, it seems to me that many are saying to themselves, sorry about the plane overhead, look, I can go travel the world, take my energies and my youth, and not give it to this XYZ corporation who's just going to drain my youth, offer me no upside, and at the end of the day, sorry, there's some banner plane flying overhead. Apologize for that. The temptation of the exotic, the temptation of beautiful beaches and being able to open my laptop and make money. That's kind of the new dream. Forget waiting 30 years to get that gold watch and ride off into the sunset. I'm going to do it right now. These have horrible implications for corporations that need to hire, rank and file workers to buy into the system. And if you can't use your money in this country, you can't make enough money in this country to buy a house where a big chunk of American wealth is created in the form of home ownership, then what am I doing? I'm giving you my youth and my time. And for what? I think that plays into the equation. I think there's a temptation that life in America is over. I live in Los Angeles, Scott, to go back to your comment about that, and the Dodgers did a great job with when I first came to LA,
this was the Shangri-La of America, in my opinion. It was, rents weren't through the roof. Hollywood was probably at its apex, and people came here to ply their trade or dreams and go to college here. And I've traveled over 30 countries, and I always love coming back to this beautiful weather. But at some point between when I first got here today, a lot of things have broken down: homelessness, crime.
Let me ask you, bro. Hold on, because I'm from Los Angeles too. What year did you?
Guys, we don't do
what year?
There's no interruptions, Scott. There's no interruptions, man. Sorry.
Oh, okay, I thought you said okay.
We'll come to you in a second.
Yeah, but but my point is that even people are now fleeing this great state because it's expensive. They can't. The corporations are leaving. We've had a lot of corporations leave California, from Toyota, tech companies, aerospace. This used to be, we were the vanguard of aerospace. We don't have a single corporation that exists here anymore in terms of corporate headquarters. So those jobs are gone, Scott. So unless America can somehow, and I think the Mondavi victory, with all of its, potential to be a disaster because of his youth and his positions on this and that, he at least represents a new face, new blood, an excitement about politics that I think you have to capture the youth today to buy into. Now we have these other influencers out there putting forward awful ideas about Nazism. This Wendy's guy, Tucker Carlson, giving him a forum. This bro culture that's attaching itself to this. I think these are bad omens going forward, unless we can somehow, provide an America that people can believe in and share it, right? So otherwise, they're not going to want to make the stroke. They're not going to want to show up to work. They're not going to want to invest in this country because they don't feel like the outcome is going to benefit them. And they're just going to age out of the game and not have the life experiences they think they're going to try to enjoy now while they have their youth. And that's their only bargaining chip here, by the way, Scott, is the fact that they have their youth and they get to decide how they're going to spend it. And I'll land there.
All right, can I ask him now that he's done?
No, we'll come to you. That's not how the room works. I don't know if you're new, but we come to you, and then you can talk when we get to you, but we're not to you yet. So just hang on. We will get to you. We will get to you. Promise. Anyone before 6 will get to you, but you are not in the queue yet.
Oh, how do I get into the queue?
You're in the queue. It's fine. You're in the queue. You're in the queue. Rather,
we'll screen the order of people, which you may not see on your screen. It doesn't mean you're being left out. It simply means he sees it.
There's another text video. Why are these planes seeing the sky and seeing the long distances?
David, David, great to see you. How are you showing? What do you think about this fact? 2/3 of the young people want to leave the United States.
Okay, so I am feeling fine, right? So emotionally, I'm okay. It is not surprising. Look, we're somewhere between 1.5 to close to 7 million in terms of the estimated amount of housing we would need to build to really be able to address supply and demand of housing necessary. A lot of millennials, and particularly Gen Z, can't afford to buy a house. You can pay taxes for chemtrails. Right? And somebody mentioned this earlier, but you think that on top of student debt, you think that on top of people having to you think that on top of people having to pay high cost of rent and other sort of, that increases and costs here. Even if you just moved from, like, say, California, where I'm at, to another state, and there's been that experiment to see that happen, ultimately those people end up increasing the cost of living for other people, right? Who are living in those areas that they moved to, right? So there isn't like at least in a statewide, in the United States, there isn't like an easy escape from that. So there are all these expenses that are popping up, expenses that like boomers didn't really have, right? The boomers, and particularly those who were college educated, middle class individuals, have been reaping the benefits of things that a lot of millennials, Gen Z, are just not going to be able to reap the benefits of, or at least don't see a real long-term future. Most people being able to reap those benefits. On top of that, somebody's talking about employment, but let's think about this. On top of that, you have employers who not only, first it was the blue-collar jobs that were being shipped overseas, the factory workers and, middle America, all those areas. Well, now you have new white collar jobs being shipped overseas to other different countries. You have sometimes the use of H-1B visas, right, to bring in people to the United States and almost work those people like, almost pseudo-slavery because they don't have any opportunities to move from one company to another because they need to be sponsored. But those were replacing. And now we even have AI coming in to replace entry-level jobs. So a lot of people would have gotten straight out of college. Some of those jobs that have been starting to bottom-level pay point at a company or corporation or foreign funding. And eventually AI is going to become even more other white-collar jobs. So when you think about all of these different things that are happening, right, there's lots of things that have been happening. And the real big one, I think, the last 20 years, right, and it continues to increase, right? You can understand why individuals would say, hey, I'm going to try it somewhere. Some people may say, oh, they're spending too much time on the social media and they're seeing things. I think lots of real because every generation accuses the younger generation of being too concerned about risk and things like that. I think the great thing about social media, particularly YouTube and some others, is that people do get an opportunity to get a full view. It's not like the content creators right now just telling you, oh, it's just great for the Malaysia. They are giving people ups and downs of what it's like to live there. And they're really getting to see that. So what people are seeing, whether or not they should or should not move there, whether or not they like it or there's a trade-off they get from being anywhere, I think that you have a lot of people who are dissatisfied with the state of the United States of America. It doesn't matter what your politics are, and I can millennial, Gen Z, left, right, center, wherever they are, all feeling a lot of same kind of anxieties and the same kind of social economic issues and these kind of things going on. And so you can see at that point where you would have 2/3 of people literally considering maybe it's time to exit the United States, right? Maybe this system isn't it anymore, and it doesn't appear that the politicians, regardless of whether they're left or right or any other people, are really seriously trying to do anything to change and solve that situation. All they're doing is giving platitudes of, oh, you just got to work harder, you just got to do this, you got to do that.
If you don't have anything nice to think or say, this is my response from hanging out with my mom since Monday. She's Queen Jean the Mean. And I just dropped her off at her friend's house, so I have a 24-hour break from her never-ending mouth. She was made for Clubhouse. She was a super troll. Anyways, I'm gonna do a meditation here. Got all my phones set up to go live. We're gonna create clips. Gonna read a book. Try to relax. Get some wisdom sucked into my veins. Because I gotta tell you, I am so sick of listening to my mom formulate an opinion on every single thing everything she sees or hears. She's got an immediate and automated response. And she's very much like that scene with Mel Brooks where he screams fuchsia because she has to get the last word in on everything. It's crazy. And she's not a pleasure to be around. But the way we deal with our environment is the most important thing. And I'm not dealing with it well, to tell you the truth. I'm not doing that great. My success here has been low. And it's a me problem. She says I have no patience, and I agree with that. I have no patience. This phone doesn't want to go live.
Freaking watch more of his freaking material and contrast it against what, like, for example, and that's why you keep using Lifetime is the most relevant example, which is one reason why they freaking picked him up. That Lifetime.
Okay, this is John. See if anybody shows up to us right. Okay, before you get to happiness, though, you gotta read the Buddha. They just got straight to the happiness, but this is the Buddha. Verse number 14, the Dhammapada. The Buddha's conquest is beyond all conquests. The Buddha's development cannot be measured. In worldly terms, whose range of vision is infinite, who has no feet of clay, and what feet can anyone deign to lead the Buddha? The Buddha is one who has crushed the bonds of desire, the lures that lead one astray. On what feet would you have the Buddha move? For he has no feet. Even gods cherish the vigilant Buddhas, meditative, wise, peaceful, and free of passions. It is difficult to be born human. It is difficult to conduct life as a human being. Rare is the opportunity to hear the Dhamma. Even more rare is the appearance of a Buddha. To shun all evil, to do good, to purify one's heart. This is the teaching of the Buddhas. Patience that is enduring is the best discipline. Nirvanas say the Buddha's is the highest goal. Whoever hurts another is not a monk. Whoever insults another is not a renunciant. Right speech, harmlessness, restraint, according to the monk's discipline, moderation in food, at peace in remoteness and solitude, devotion to higher meditation. All this is the teaching of the Buddhas. A shower of gold pieces cannot satisfy craving. Sensual pleasures bring little sweetness, cause much suffering. The discipline of the Buddha finds joy in the extinction of desire. Om. Threatened with danger, many go for refuge to gardens, sacred trees, mountains and forests. But such is not safe refuge. Such is not the supreme refuge. By means of such a refuge, no one is able to free himself from all these sufferings. However, if one turns to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha for refuge, realizes the Four Noble Truths, dukkha, dukkha's cause, the cessation of dukkha, the Noble Eightfold Path that leads to the cessation of dukkha. Sadhana, dukkha is the Pali word for pervasive unsatisfactoriness, the many kinds of suffering from the small to the great. This indeed is the safe refuge. This is the supreme refuge. Turning to this refuge, one frees oneself from all suffering. A supreme being is hard to find. He is not born in many places, but wherever he is born, the family of such a wise one prospers. Blessed is the appearance of the Buddhas. Blessed is the teaching of the Dhamma. Blessed is the unity of the order. Blessed is the disciplined life of its followers. Whosoever honors those worthy of honor, the Buddhas or their disciples, who have overcome the obstacles to development and have rid themselves of grief and lamentation, who have attained inner peace and have become fearless. His merit cannot be measured by anyone as this much or that much. Happiness. Truly we dwell in happiness. Others hate, but we do not. Surrounded by those who hate, we live free from hatred. Truly, we dwell in happiness. Others are sick, but we are not. Surrounded by sick people, we live free from sickness. Truly, we dwell in happiness, free from struggles, while others struggle. Surrounded by struggling people, we live free from conflict. Truly, we dwell in happiness, having no obstacles at all. We shall feed on joy like radiant gods. Okay, I'm going to take a little reading break here and play you the Dhammapada.
Popular understanding of Judeo-Christian doctrine, but where...
So ABC was here
How
today.
did you know?
The furnace is so quiet.
Yeah, it's done. Hi.
Beware of the anger of the mind. Master your thoughts. Let them serve truth. The wise have mastered body, word, and mind. They are the true masters. Impurity. You are as the yellow leaf. The messengers of death are at hand. You are to travel far away. What will you take with you? You are the lamp to lighten the way. Then hurry, hurry. When your light shines without impurity or desire, you will come into the boundless country. Your life is falling away. Death is at hand. Where will you rest on the way? What have you taken with you? You are the lamp to lighten the way. Then hurry, hurry. When your light shines purely, you will not be born, and you will not die. As a silversmith sifts dust from silver, remove your own impurities, little by little. Or, as iron is
That's the shot.
corroded by
I'll
rust,
be back.
your own mischief will consume you. Neglected, the sacred verses rust. For beauty rusts without use, and unrepaired, the house falls into ruin, and the watch without vigilance fails. In this world and the next, there is impurity and impurity. When a woman lacks dignity, when a man lacks generosity, but the greatest impurity is ignorance. Free yourself from it. Be pure. Life is easy for the man who is without shame. Impudent as a crow, a vicious gossip, vain, meddlesome, dissolute. But life is hard for the man who quietly undertakes the way of perfection with purity, detachment, and vigor. He sees light. If you kill, lie, or steal, commit adultery, or drink, you dig up your own roots. And if you cannot master yourself, the harm you do turns against you grievously. You may give in the spirit of light, or as you please, but if you care how another man gives or how he withholds, you trouble your quietness endlessly. These envying roots, destroy them, and enjoy a lasting quietness. There is no fire like passion. There are no chains like hate. Illusion is a net, desire a rushing river. How easy it is to see your brother's faults, how hard to face your own. You winnow his in the wind like chaff, but yours you hide like a cheat covering up an unlucky throw. Dwelling on your brother's faults multiplies your own. You are far from the end of your journey. The way is not in the sky, the way is in the heart. See how you love whatever keeps you from your journey. But the Tathagatas, they who have gone beyond, have conquered the world. They are free. The way is not in the sky. The way is in the heart. All things arise and pass away, but the awakened awake forever. the just. If you determine your course with force or speed, you miss the way of the law. Quietly consider what is right and what is wrong, receiving all opinions equally without haste, wisely observe the law. Who is wise, the eloquent or the quiet man? Be quiet and loving and fearless. Or the mind talks, but the body knows. Gray hairs do not make a master. A man may grow old in vain. The true master lives in truth, in goodness and restraint, non-violence, moderation, and purity. Fine words or fine features cannot make a master out of jealous and greedy man. Only when envy and selfishness are rooted out of him may he grow in beauty. A man may shave his head, but if he still lies and neglects his work, if he clings to desire and attachment, how can he follow the way? The true seeker subdues all waywardness. He has submitted his nature to quietness. He is a true seeker, not because he begs, but because he follows the lawful way, holding back nothing, holding to nothing. Beyond good and beyond evil, beyond the body and beyond the mind. Silence cannot make a master out of a fool, but he who weighs only purity in his scales, who sees the nature of the two worlds, he is a master. He harms no living thing. And yet, it is not good conduct that helps you upon the way, nor ritual, nor book learning, nor withdrawal into the self, nor deep meditation. None of these confers mastery or joy. Oh, seeker, rely on nothing until you want nothing. The way. The way is eightfold. There are four truths. All virtue lies in detachment. The master has an open eye. This is the only way to the opening of the eye. Follow it. Outwit desire. Follow it to the end of sorrow. When I pulled out sorrow's shaft, I showed you the way. It is you who must make the effort. The masters only point the way. But if you meditate and follow the law, you will free yourself from desire. Everything arises and passes away. When you see this, you are above sorrow. This is the shining way. Existence is sorrow. Understand and go beyond sorrow. This is the way of brightness. Existence is illusion. Understand. Go beyond. This is the way of clarity.
Each fall, Medicare members receive something called an ANOP. That is your annual notice of change. And it's basically your What's New letter with updates on your Medicare plan's costs, benefits, and coverage for the new year. So when it arrives in the mail, be sure to open it as it has important updates about your plan for the new year. Have you received your ANOP yet?
Happy, happy nappers! Happy, happy nappers!
Introducing PhotoFlix, the new Happy Nappers with something incredible inside. It's a lovable digital friend that lets kids hug and hold their favorite videos and pics.
I have a dog named Max, and he loves the water. Grandpa sends the best videos.
I have the best picture of my brother.
And parents love this. Each PhotoFlix friend lets you easily upload your favorite photos, videos, and special memories to watch, share, and show you care.
I'll see you soon. Love you.
I love you too, Daddy.
PhotoFlix holds up to 17,000 photos or up to 2 hours of video, so kids can hug and hold everyone they love everywhere they go. Or watch videos of grandparents reading their favorite stories.
Good night, Grandma. I love you.
Good night, my or pictures of loved ones kids can hug every day.
Happy Nappers PhotoFlix is so easy to use. I simply plug in the cable, connect to my computer, and then I drag and drop my favorite videos and pictures. Now I can share a hug with my granddaughter every day.
And best of all, every piece of content is parent controlled and installed. For even more fun, you can upload all your kids' favorite shows and funny videos, so every boy and girl can watch, laugh, and enjoy. Plus, you can upload birthday wishes from your friends, no matter where they are, or create slideshow memories.
Whoa, hey, that's me.
It even has an auto off timer to say goodnight. There's a Happy Nappers PhotoFlix waiting to play with you. You can choose from Evie the Unicorn or Max the Shark for $69.99 plus $7.99 processing and handling. We'll include these headphones free with your paid order. And here's something nice. When you order more than one, we'll lower the price. You can log on at getphotoflix.com. Batteries not included. Must be 18 or older to order.
You are strong. You are young. It is time to arise. So arise, lest through irresolution and idleness you lose the way. Master your words. Master your thoughts. Never allow your body to do harm. Follow these 3 roads with purity, and you will find yourself upon the one way, the way of wisdom. Sit in the world. Sit in the dark. Sit in meditation. Sit in light. Choose your seat. Let wisdom grow. Cut down the forest, not the tree, or out of the forest comes danger. Cut down the forest, thou desire, and set yourself free. While a man desires a woman, his mind is bound as closely as a calf to its mother. As you would pluck an autumn lily, pluck the arrow of desire. For he who is awake has shown you the way of peace. Give yourself to the journey. Here shall I make my dwelling in the summer and the winter and in the rainy season. So the fool makes his plans, sparing not a thought for his death. Death overtakes the man who, giddy and distracted by the world, cares only for his flocks and his children. Death fetches him away as a flood carries off a sleeping village. His family cannot save him, not his father, nor his sons. Know this. Seek wisdom and purity. Quickly clear the way. Out of the forest, there is pleasure and there is bliss. Forgo the first to possess the second. If you are happy at the expense of another man's happiness, you are forever bound. You do not what you should. You do what you should not. You are reckless, and desire grows. But the master is wakeful. He watches his body. In all his actions, he discriminates, and he becomes pure. He is without blame, though once he may have murdered his mother and his father, 2 kings, a kingdom, and all its subjects. Though the kings were holy and their subjects among the virtuous, yet is he blameless. The followers of the awakened awake, and day and night they watch and meditate upon their master. Forever wakeful, they mind the law. They know their brothers on the way. They understand the mystery of the body. They find joy in all beings. They delight in meditation. It is hard to live in the world and hard to live out of it. It is hard to be one among many. And for the wanderer, how long is the road wandering through many lives? Let him rest. Let him not suffer. let him not fall into suffering. If he is a good man, a man of faith, honored and prosperous, wherever he goes, he is welcome. Like the Himalayas, good men shine from afar, but bad men move unseen like arrows in the night. Sit, rest, work, alone with yourself, never weary. On the edge of the forest, live joyfully, without desire. The dark. One man denies the truth, another denies his own actions. Both go into the dark, and in the next world suffer, or they offend truth. Wear the yellow robe, but if you are reckless, you will fall into darkness. If you are reckless, better to swallow molten iron than eat at the table of good folk. If you court another man's wife, you court trouble. Your sleep is broken, you lose your honor, you fall into darkness. You go against the law, you go into the dark. Your pleasures end in fear, and the king's punishment is harsh. But as a blade of grass held awkwardly may cut your hand, so renunciation may lead you into the dark. For if in your renunciation you are reckless and break your word, if your purpose wavers, you will not find light. Do what you have to do, resolutely, with all your heart. A traveler who hesitates only raises dust on the road. It is better to do nothing than to do what is wrong. For whatever you do to yourself. Like a border town well guarded, guard yourself within and without. Let not a single moment pass, lest you fall into darkness. Feel shame only where shame is due. Fear only what is fearful. See evil only in what is evil, lest you mistake the true way and fall into darkness. See what is. See what is not. Follow the true way. Rise. The elephant. I shall endure hard words as the elephant endures the shafts of battle. For many people speak wildly. The tamed elephant goes to battle. The king rides him. The tamed man is the master. He can endure hard words in peace. Better than a mule or the fine horses of Sind or the mighty elephants of war is the man who has mastered himself. Not on their backs can he reach the untrodden country, but only on his own. The mighty elephant Danapalaka is wild when he is in rut, and when bound he will not eat, remembering the elephant grove. The fool is idle, he eats and he rolls in his sleep like a hog in a sty, and he has to live life over again. My own mind used to wander wherever pleasure or desire or lust led it, but now I have it tamed. I guide it as the keeper guides the wild elephant. Awake, be the witness of your thoughts. The elephant holds himself from the mud. In the same way, drag yourself out of your sloth. If the traveler can find a virtuous and wise companion, let him go with him joyfully and overcome the dangers of the way. But if you cannot find friend or master to go with you, travel on alone, like a king who has given away his kingdom, like an elephant in the forest. Travel on alone, rather than with a fool for company. Do not carry with you your mistakes. Do not carry your cares. Travel on alone, like an elephant in the forest. To have friends in need is sweet, and to share happiness, and to have done something good before leaving this life is sweet, and to let go of sorrow. To be a mother is sweet, and a father. It is sweet to live arduously and to master yourself. Oh, how sweet it is to enjoy life living in honesty and strength. And wisdom is sweet, and freedom. Desire. If you sleep, desire grows in you like a vine in the forest. Like a monkey in the forest, you jump from tree to tree, never finding the fruit. From life to life, never finding peace. If you are filled with desire, your sorrows swell like the grass after the rain. But if you subdue desire, your sorrows fall from you like drops of water from a lotus flower. This is good counsel, and it is for everyone. As the grass is cleared for the fresh root, cut down desire, lest death after death crush you, as a river crushes the helpless reeds. For if the roots hold firm, a felled tree grows up again. If desires are not uprooted, sorrows grow again in you. 36 streams are rushing toward you, desire and pleasure and lust. Play in your imagination with them and they will sweep you away. Powerful streams, they flow everywhere. Strong vine, if you see it spring up, take care. Pull it out by the roots. Pleasures flow everywhere. You float upon them and are carried from life to life. Like a hunted hare you run, the pursuer of desire pursued, harried from life to life. O seeker, give up desire. Shake off your chains. You have come out of the hollow into the clearing. The clearing is empty. Why do you rush back into the hollow? Desire is a hollow, and people say, look, he was free, but now he gives up his freedom. It is not iron that imprisons you, nor rope, nor wood, but the pleasure you take in gold and jewels and sons and wives. Soft fetters, yet they hold you down. Can you snap them? There are those who can, who surrender the world, forsake desire, and follow the way. O slave of desire, float upon the stream. Little spider, stick to your web, or else abandon your sorrows for the way. Abandon yesterday, and tomorrow, and today. Cross over to the farther shore, beyond life and death.
So you applied for a new job and you got the interview. Now you gotta nail it. Adobe Acrobat AA Assistant can act as a practice partner so you can feel confident and prepared. Just use Adobe Acrobat Pro and AA Assistant on your resume and ask it to generate potential interview questions so you can think about what you're going to say before the big day. Isn't that a cool way to practice? Start your free 7-day trial now.
Do your thoughts trouble you? Does passion disturb you? Beware of thirstiness, lest your wishes become desires, and desire binds you. Quieten your mind. Reflect. Watch. Nothing binds you. You are free. You are strong. You have come to the end, free from passion and desire. You have stripped the thorns from the stem. This is your last body. You are wise. You are free from desire, and you understand words and the stitching together of words, and you want nothing. Victory is mine, knowledge is mine, and all purity, all surrender. I want nothing. I am free. I found my way. Whom shall I call teacher? The gift of truth is beyond giving, the taste beyond sweetness, the joy beyond joy. The end of desire is the end of sorrow. The fool is his own enemy. Seeking wealth, he destroys himself. Seek rather the other shore. Weeds choke the field. Passion poisons the nature of man, and hatred, illusion, and desire. Honor the man who is without passion, hatred, illusion, and desire. What you give to him will be given back to you, and more. The Seeker. Master your senses. What you taste and smell, what you see, what you hear. In all things, be a master of what you do and say and think. Be free. You are a seeker. Delight in the mastery of your hands and your feet, of your words and your thoughts. Delight in meditation and in solitude. Compose yourself. Be happy. You are a seeker. Hold your tongue. Do not exalt yourself, but lighten the way, for your words are sweet. Follow the truth of the way. Reflect upon it. Make it your own. Live it. It will always sustain you. Do not turn away what is given you, nor reach out for what is given to others, lest you disturb your quietness. Give thanks for what has been given you, however little. Be pure. Never falter. You have no name and no form. Why miss what you do not have? A seeker is not sorry. Love and joyfully follow the way, a quiet way to the happy country. Seeker, empty the boat, lighten the load, passion and desire and hatred, and sail swiftly. There are 5 at the door to turn away, and 5 more, and there are 5 to welcome in. And when 5 have been left stranded on the shore, the seeker is called O Gati Nati, he who has crossed over. Seeker, do not be reckless. Meditate constantly, or you will swallow fire and cry out no more. If you are not wise, how can you steady the mind? If you cannot quieten yourself, what will you ever learn? How will you become free? With a quiet mind, come into that empty house, your heart, and feel the joy of the way beyond the world. Look within, the rising and the falling. What happiness! How sweet to be free! It is the beginning of life, of mastery and patience, of good friends along the way, of a pure and active life. So, live in love. Do your work. Make an end of your sorrows. Or see how the jasmine releases and lets fall its withered flowers. Let fall willfulness and hatred. Are you quiet? Quieten your body. Quieten your mind. You want nothing. Your words are still. You are still. By your own efforts, waken yourself. Watch yourself. And live joyfully. You are the master. You are the refuge. As a merchant breaks in a fine horse, master yourself. How gladly you follow the words of the awakened, how quietly, how surely you approach the happy country, the heart of stillness. However young, the seeker who sets out upon the way shines bright over the world. Like the moon, come out from behind the clouds, shine. The true master. Wanting nothing with all your heart, stop the stream. the world dissolves, everything becomes clear. Go beyond this way or that way to the farther shore, where the world dissolves and everything becomes clear. Beyond this shore and the farther shore, beyond the beyond, where there is no beginning, no end, without fear, go. Meditate. Live purely. Be quiet. Do your work with mastery. By day the sun shines and the warrior in his armor shines. By night the moon shines and the master shines in meditation. But day and night the man who is awake shines in the radiance of the spirit. The master gives up mischief. He is serene. He leaves everything behind him. He does not take offense and he does not give it. He never returns evil for evil. Alas for the man who raises his hand against another, and even more for him who returns the blow. Resist the pleasures of life and the desire to hurt till sorrows vanish. Never offend by what you think or say or do. Honor the man who is awake and shows you the way. Honor the fire of his sacrifice. Matted hair or family or caste do not make a master, but the truth and goodness with which he is blessed. Your hair is tangled and you sit on a deerskin. What folly when inside you are ragged with lust. The master's clothes are in tatters. His veins stand out. He is wasting away. Alone in the forest, he sits and meditates. A man is not born to mastery. A master is never proud. He does not talk down to others. Owning nothing, he misses nothing. He is not afraid. He does not tremble. Nothing binds him. He is infinitely free. So cut through the strap and the thong and the rope. Loosen the fastenings. Unbolt the doors of sleep and awake. The master endures insults and ill treatment without reacting, for his spirit is an army. He is never angry. He keeps his promises. He never strays. He is determined. This body is my last, he says. Like water on the leaf of a lotus flower, or a mustard seed on the point of a needle, he does not cling, for he has reached the end of sorrow and has laid down his burden. He looks deeply into things and sees their nature. He discriminates and reaches the end of the way. He does not linger with those who have a home, nor with those who stray. Wanting nothing, he travels on alone. He hurts nothing. He never kills. He moves with love among the unloving, with peace and detachment among the hungry and querulous. Like a mustard seed from the point of a needle, hatred has fallen from him, and lust, hypocrisy, and pride. He offends no one, yet he speaks the truth. His words are clear, but never harsh. Whatever is not his, he refuses, good or bad, great or small. He wants nothing from this world and nothing from the next. He is free. Desiring nothing, doubting nothing, beyond judgment and sorrow and the pleasure of the senses, he is moved beyond time. He is pure and free. How clear he is. He is the moon. He is serene. He shines. For he has traveled life after life the muddy and treacherous road of illusion. He does not tremble or grasp or hesitate. He has found peace. Calmly, he lets go of life, of home, and pleasure, and desire. Nothing of men can hold him. Nothing of the gods can hold him. Nothing in all creation can hold him. Desire has left him, never to return. Sorrow has left him, never to return. He is calm. In him the seed of renewing life has been consumed. He has conquered all the inner worlds. With dispassionate eye he sees everywhere the falling and the uprising. And with great gladness he knows that he has finished. He has woken from his sleep. And the way he has taken is hidden from men, even from spirits and gods, by virtue of his purity. In him there is no yesterday, no tomorrow, no today. Possessing nothing, wanting nothing, he is full of power. Fearless, wise, exalted, he has vanquished all things. He sees by virtue of his purity. He has come to the end of the way, over the river of his many lives, his many deaths, beyond the sorrow of hell, beyond the great joy of heaven, by virtue of his purity. He has come to the end of the way. All that he had to do, he has done. And now, he is one.
An Afterword, written and read by Jacob Needleman.
Buddhism was born in India. In its beginnings, it conceived of itself not as a new religion, but as a reconstitution of what is essential in the vastness of the Hindu tradition. Taken as a whole, the Hindu religion can be likened to an Olympian armed campaign with great generals dispersed abroad, their huge armies and infinitely variegated weaponry converging upon the enemy, the ego, under some divinely conceived master strategy. Compared to this, Buddhism appears upon the Indian scene as a direct hand-to-hand attack with no holds barred, striking instantly and mercilessly at the enemy's weakest point. By and large, Buddhism has retained this quality of one-pointed practicality even amid the later flowering of a metaphysics and mythology which, in all of its aspects, rivals the entirety of Hinduism. Put succinctly, the Buddha, who is understood to have lived and taught in the 6th century BC, taught that the principal cause of all human suffering and desolation is the deeply ingrained belief that there is such a thing as a self or ego that persists through time and change. Everything else in Buddhism, its art, philosophy, rituals, and techniques, originated as tools for the destruction of man's illusion that he is a self. This doctrine of no self, or non-Atman, is, as it is said, the diamond which cuts through all errors and confusions of humanity. According to this teaching, everything in human nature is in flux, and a man is nothing but a serial bundle of sensations, thoughts, and feelings, one proceeding from another with nothing to hold them together either in life or death. And not only man, but all things in the universe are without self, without a fixed nature that abides from moment to moment. In the endless and rigorously determined chain of cause and effect that constitutes the universe, we human beings fail by fixing our interest or desire upon one or another phenomenal aggregate, either within ourself or external to ourself. Therein is the root of all our sorrow. What can liberate us is the deep and thorough understanding of all things, including the personality, as causally determined processes of becoming. Consciousness, meaning the totality of thought, feeling, perception, sensation, pleasure, and pain, is not a being, but a passion, not an activity, but only a sequence of reactions in which we, will have no power to be either as or when we will, are fatally involved. Individuality is motivated by and perpetuated by wanting, and the cause of all wanting is ignorance. For we ignore that the objects of our desire can never be possessed in any real sense of the word, ignore that even when we have got what we want, we still want to keep it and are still in the state of desire. The ignorance meant is of things as they really are, and the consequent attribution of substantiality to what is merely phenomenal, the seeing of self in what is not self. At first glance, this doctrine of no self seems in direct opposition to the Hindu view. But if there is any general view with which the Buddhist doctrine conflicts, it is surely our own Western worldview, as embodied not only in the popular understanding of Judeo-Christian doctrine, but in the goals our whole civilization has set for itself. The religions of the West have imbued us with the idea of an individual eternal soul created by God, also in His way an individual, infinitely precious and irreducibly real. As our modern society drew away from religious doctrine, it substituted for the soul the idea of individual personality, not immortal perhaps, but for that very reason all the more our own and precious. The establishment of our identity, our role, has been the banner cry not only of scientific psychology, but of all the major intellectual movements of modern times, including existentialism and humanism. We measure a person's strength by what we take to be the distinctness and vividness of his individuality. And we all seek to make our mark, either as artists, scientists, or business people. To the Buddhist, all this striving is the pursuit of a phantom. The identity we seek to establish is nothing more than a thought, a picture in the mind of what we are or can be. It is in no wise based on fact. Our sense of persistence and sameness through change is a trick played upon us by the automatic functions of memory and buttressed by the fact that we are given a name and treated by others as though we were a self. Indeed, our whole society is but a vast collection of sleepwalkers, each addressing the other and conceiving of himself within his own dream of selfhood. All our ideas of morality and obligation, blame and praise are based on this dream and serve only to strengthen the illusion of its reality. Putting the Buddhist doctrine of no self in the above way, its congruence with Hindu thought becomes clearer. We might say that for the Hindu or Brahmanic religion, human ignorance is the ignorance of who we are, of our ultimate divinity, where for Buddhism, it is ignorance of what we are not. We are not this ego. It is in fact the cardinal trait of Buddhism that its teachings are in negative terms. Break down the illusion, the error, and the truth will appear by itself, for it is always there. It is only obscured and hidden by our ignorant beliefs about ourselves and the desires attached thereto. Of all the great religious teachers of the world, none has incarnated and lived the idea that ultimate reality is beyond the grasp of the ordinary mind with more purity and concentration than the Buddha. This in part explains why the Buddha's discourses say nothing about the existence of a supreme being, for example, or about immortality. Such questions tend not to edification, since they are put by the deluded mind, which is quite content to speculate endlessly about these matters while clinging to the very beliefs which perpetuate its suffering. Its strategy of negation has misled many Westerners into thinking Buddhism is pessimistic and anti-life. Some have even thought of nirvana, the ultimate goal of Buddhist discipline, as a sort of spiritual suicide. Nothing could be further from the truth, and in fact, there is no religion which has a higher estimation of human possibility. It is only that it is not spoken of directly and positively. The exalted level of nirvana can be seen indirectly by attending to everything which the Buddhists say it is not. It is not love, consciousness, peace, freedom, happiness, or immortality in any sense that we understand. We are given no words for it because we have no experience of it. And in the absence of a corresponding experience, names merely purchase further illusions. The Gospels, we may recall, also speak of the peace that passeth understanding. We come to the conclusion that just as the great mystics and saints of our own traditions could describe the supreme reality only by negation and analogy, so the Buddhist tells us of nirvana. Since, however, nirvana also designates the whole of reality, then we see why Buddhism also refuses to admit that our ordinary thinking and language can accurately be applied to anything that is real. Thus, reality is also named the void or emptiness. A final note, especially important when we come to inquire if a genuine Buddhist way can take root on our own soil. Buddhist moral rules are never ends in themselves. It is essential to realize that ethical commandments in the Dhammapada are understood as necessary preliminaries to any greater spiritual development. What is especially valuable about the Dhammapada is that it shows us there is no real separation between true human morality and the process of inner development. The admonitions and insights in this great text resonate on all levels of our search for our authentic humanity. At one stroke, they bring inspiration to our halting everyday efforts to care for our neighbor and guidance in our efforts to look into ourselves for the radiant energy that is traditionally termed the Buddha nature. The Dhammapada presents itself as the actual sayings of Gautama Buddha and was originally compiled for the growing community of Buddhist monks. It was apparently in existence by the time of the Emperor Ashoka in 250 BC and quickly became popular with all schools of Buddhist thought and practice. It is now, no doubt, time for it to speak more universally to the whole of our morally and spiritually hungry modern world. Or perfume. So let the master settle and wander. Look to your own faults, what you have done or left undone. Overlook the faults of others. Like a lovely flower, bright but scentless, are the fine but empty words of the man who does not mean what he says. Like a lovely flower, bright and fragrant, are the fine and truthful words of the man who means what he says. Like garlands woven from a heap of flowers, fashion from your life as many good deeds. The perfume of sandalwood, rose bay, or jasmine cannot travel against the wind, but the fragrance of virtue travels even against the wind as far as the ends of the world. How much finer is the fragrance of virtue?
Being a mascot too, I can be your Hamas mascot in that sense. Like Hamas can be
Potential terrorist alert.
Israeli.
Notify the FBI. Mikhail is a potential terrorist alert.
Thank you. We're discussing business. And even John, instead of his time here.
That would be content. Just how he did that.
Exactly.
Notify the FBI. A potential terrorist is speaking. His name is Mikhail. He is a laptop repairman out of California. Notify the FBI in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Clip it. Clip it.
If he would.
Clip it. Send it to Cash Patel and Dan Bongino. Kick in Mikhail's door immediately. Drag him out by his hair. Drag him into the street and cuff him and put him in a car.
He could be
Clip it.
useful, but he's mental.
Clip it.
Like you see, he's mental. This guy he would just bring us trouble. And it just wouldn't be.
It's all projection all the time with Mikhail.
But if he got his head straight, he's on this app probably more than anybody. If he would just create that space.
Projection alert.
And we would be.
Projection alert.
Oh my God.
You let him up for a little bit and then say.
No, not either. Like he could be keeping the space live as much as possible, because that's also another thing. You know, if the longer you're on, the better.
Projection alert. Projection alert.
Life is gonna be seen.
Terrorist alert. Potential terrorist alert. Notify the FBI. Notify the FBI at Cash Patel, at Dan Bongino.
A lot of the Zios on the app are like John, actually. They're that, like on that level.
Here we go with the Zios. Notify the FBI of a potential terrorist.
Beyond I know exactly what you're saying. Like, they don't see beyond it. They're just like, they got no patience.
We don't mind trash talk. Like, hey, let someone trash talk for a minute or two, but don't let that be the theme of the live, because first of all,
you always got to rally back.
Exactly, and another thing, you got to watch people's language too. So that's another thing. Yeah.
Projection alert. Projection alert. Notify the FBI potential terrorist. Mikhail on the alert.
Hey, hold on, John. Let's ask you a serious question. Are you on TikTok?
Yeah, I'm on TikTok.
Okay, how do you find it over there?
Just type in my name, John Kitover.
How do you find it as an individual?
You'll go on TikTok and you hit the search icon button and you type in my name, you lazy fat fuck. It's John Kitover.
How do you find it?
You use your fat fingers to search my name, you fat fuck.
I don't need to find you, you moron. How do you find it as a user?
As in how to give him your feedback on TikTok. He wants feedback.
TikTok is just another app. Who cares? It's another app. It's one more thing to do. Hello?
So to you, it's no different than Clubhouse.
It's no different than YouTube. It is YouTube. The whole thing is Instagram or YouTube or TikTok.
Do you not have any plan to actually take these platforms? Like, at least since you're already
Projection alert. Projection alert. Projection alert. Projection. You're talking to a guy with 50,000 videos with millions of views. You know, people come up to me and they say, I've seen you on YouTube. I go, really? What was I doing? They say, you were talking to a bunch of fucking losers, wasting all their fucking time. That's what they say to me when they meet me in the flesh. They say, who are those fucking losers you're talking to all the time?
He literally only has 5 followers.
It's crazy how much online presence this guy has and the low amount of followers or even viewers.
Notify the FBI of a potential terrorist.
I would totally work with John because I don't mind anybody who wants to work with me. But
Of course you don't, because you got nobody who wants to work with you.
that's a new platform.
Projection. They finally kicked me.
Men of sandalwood, rose bay, of the blue lotus or jasmine. The fragrance of sandalwood and rose bay does not travel far, but the fragrance of virtue rises to the heavens. Desire never crosses the path of virtuous and wakeful men. Their brightness sets them free. How sweetly the lotus grows in the litter of the wayside.
Thanks, Melissa. Happy birthday to me.
Follow the awakened, and from among the blind,
I'm going to create a happy birthday
the light
party.
of your wisdom will shine out purely. The fool. How long the night to the watchman? How long the road to the weary traveler? How long the wandering of many lives to the fool who misses the way? If the traveler cannot find master or friend to go with him, let him travel on alone rather
Yo,
than be a fool
Jacob.
for company.
It's my birthday.
Are you in the lake too?
Oh my God, is this like an actual hot chick? It's impossible. There's no way. This is going to be a fake profile. McCusker, you're not that person. No way, bro. Jacob, welcome to my party room. It's my birthday.
Hey, let's get a beat.
Oh, you want to get a beat?
No, here, I was kidding. Remember you used to troll my ass?
Melissa Siciliano wants to say something. Welcome, Melissa.
Hi, John. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
What? What are you doing?
I'm talking to Melissa over here. McCusker, are you going to say anything, McCusker? Welcome to my birthday party. No, right now is my birthday.
Yes. John, my English level APA. Sometimes I don't understand. I listen. Okay.
Okay.
I was sick. Next week
Okay. De Lambert, Gelting, Jode. McCusker, you got anything to say over there, McCusker?
My children, my wealth. So the fool troubles himself. But how has he children or wealth? He is not even his own master. The fool who knows he is a fool is that much wiser. The fool who thinks he is wise is a fool indeed. Does the spoon taste the soup? A fool may live all his life in the company of a master and still miss the way. The tongue tastes the soup. If you are awake in the presence of a master, one moment will show you the way. A fool is his own enemy. The mischief he does is his undoing. How bitterly he suffers. Why do what you will regret? Why bring tears upon yourself? Do only what you do not regret, and fill yourself
Here's
with
another
joy.
chemtrail video.
For a while, the fool's mischief tastes sweet, sweet as honey. But in the end, it turns bitter, and how bitterly he suffers. For months, the fool may fast, eating from the tip of a grass blade. Still, he is not worth a penny beside the master whose food is the way. Fresh milk takes time to sour, so a fool's mischief takes time to catch up with him. Like the embers of a fire, it smolders within him. Whatever a fool learns, it only makes him duller. Knowledge cleaves his head, but then he wants recognition, a place before other people, a place over other people. Let them know my work. Let everyone look to me for direction. Such are his desires. Such is his swelling pride. One way leads to wealth and fame, the other to the end of the way. Look not for recognition, but follow the awakened and set yourself free. The wise man. The wise man tells you where you have fallen and where you yet may fall. Invaluable secrets. Follow him. Follow the way. Let him chasten and teach you and keep you from mischief. The world may hate him, but good men love him. Do not look for bad company or live with men who do not care. Find friends who love the truth. Drink deeply. Live in serenity and joy. The wise man delights in the truth and follows the law of the awakened. The farmer channels water to his land. The fletcher whittles his arrows, and the carpenter turns his wood. So the wise man directs his mind. The wind cannot shake a mountain. Neither praise nor blame moves the wise man. He is clarity. Hearing the truth, he is like a lake, pure and tranquil and deep. Want nothing. Where there is desire, say nothing. Happiness or sorrow, whatever befalls you, walk on, untouched, unattached. Do not ask for family or power or wealth, either for yourself or for another. Can a wise man wish to rise unjustly? Few cross over the river. Most are stranded on this side. On the river bank, they run up and down. But the wise man, following the way, crosses over beyond the reach of death. He leaves the dark way for the way of light. He leaves his home seeking happiness on the hard road. Free from desire, free from possessions, free from the dark places of the heart, free from attachment and appetite, following the 7 lights of awakening and rejoicing greatly in his freedom. In this world, the wise man becomes himself a light, pure, shining, free. The Master. At the end of the way, the Master finds freedom from desire and sorrow, freedom without bounds. Those who awaken never rest in one place. Like swans, they rise and leave the lake. On the air they rise and fly an invisible course, gathering nothing, storing nothing. Their food is knowledge. They live upon emptiness. They have seen how to break free. Who can follow them? Only the Master. Such is his purity. Like a bird, he rises on the limitless air and flies an invisible course. He wishes for nothing. His food is knowledge. He lives upon emptiness. He has broken free. He is the charioteer. He has tamed his horses, pride, and the senses. Even the gods admire him. Yielding like the earth, joyous and clear like the lake, still as the stone at the door, he is free from life and death. His thoughts are still. His words are still. His work is stillness. He sees his freedom and is free. The Master surrenders his beliefs. He sees beyond the end and the beginning. He cuts all ties. He gives up all his desires. He resists all temptations. And he rises. And wherever he lives, in the city or the country, in the valley or in the hills, there is great joy. Even in the empty forest, he finds joy because he wants nothing. The thousands. Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings.
Okay, this is my new birthday song, drafted from the Dhammapada.
Let us live, let us breathe, free as air, no hate, no chains, no despair. Among the shadows, we shine so bright, we carry peace into the night. Happily tonight, we'll rise again. No hatred, no gang, no bitter end. Happily tonight, let the light begin.
I thought I had your birthday in the chat.
We'll mend within. Let us walk, let us heal. Free from strife, no ailments cling, no weight or life. Among the weary, we'll stand tall, a gentle voice for one and all. Happily then, we'll rise again.
was dope.
Let us live, let us breathe, free as air. No hate, no chains, no despair. Among the shadows, we shine so bright. We carry peace into the night. Happily there, we'll rise again. No hatred, no pain, no bitter. Happily there. Let us walk, let us heal, free from strife. No ailments cling, no weight on life. Among the weary, we'll stand tall. A gentle voice for one and all. Happily there, we'll rise again. No hatred, no pain, no bitter. Happily there, red light among the broken, we'll live free from greed, we'll plant the seed.